It's time to move on. If there's something that's bothering you in your past, face it, accept that it happened, and now it's time to move on, right? This is what keeps a lot of people in the same cycle, keeps people doing the same things, keeps people depressed in miserable states in life, is they never accept that it happened. So they try to figure out how they can fix the past, but you can't fix what happened. What happened already happened, right? What happened already happened. So you can't fix it. You have to accept it. You have to accept your defeat. You have to accept that it already happened and move on simply, right? This is gonna keep you in a way that people view you as, arrogant. People view you as, weird, stuck in your ways. People view you as, such a horrible person, right? Why? You're gonna starting arguments. You're just gonna be so arrogant that nobody even wants to be around you. And to avoid all of that, you simply have to accept that it happened and move on. Until we get time machines that allows us to erase what happened in the past, you are simply just gonna have to deal with whatever happened, right? You are. And it looks like, maybe in the future might have time machines. Maybe I'm not alive to see it, but maybe my great grandkids are. But until then, your past is just gonna keep bothering you because you're scared to accept that it happened. You're scared to take that loss. You're scared to feel wrong, right? To feel wrong. Like you always want it to be clear to you, right? And I'm here to tell you that life is never clear, right? People think the way to growth is this. This is how people think they grow. But in reality, this is how you grow. Win, loss. Win, loss. Win, loss. Win, loss. Win, loss. Win. That's how you grow, right? Not just, oh yeah, I'm win. No, you can't just stack up all the wins and expect to just be there. No, you're gonna have to take loss after loss after no, rejection after rejection to then go uphill, all right? To then go uphill. So whenever you take those losses, don't, just sit on those losses, right? Figure out how you can take another loss so that you can get a win, right? Figure out how you can get another person to say no so you can finally get that yes, right? The more you do it, the better you get. The more that you do anything in life, the better you get. So if you compound win after win after loss after loss after win, the losses aren't really losses. The losses are lessons, right? The wins are blessings, right? So you got two things, right? A loss is a lesson and a blessing at the same time, and a win is a blessing, right? It's just what it is. And you have to realize, right? Over time, those losses compound into W's. The more losses you take at the beginning, because I'm telling you this now, all right? I don't know what it is that you're trying to pursue. I don't know what it is that you're trying to do in life. But with anything in life, you have to lose. You have to lose to win, right? You're going to take so many losses before you take wins. And you're going to take more losses than you take wins, right? But over time, with all those losses that you took, you're going to eventually start seeing a lot of wins, right? And when you start seeing those wins, you start to realize all those losses that you took were really just lessons. They were really lessons in disguise, right? And they taught you how to avoid this, how to avoid that. And now you've grown from it. But a lot of people don't evaluate it as a lesson. They evaluate a loss as in, it's time to give up. It's time to stay stuck on that loss. And there's no growth from a loss, right? People simply think that a loss means it's not for them, right? But in fact, in anything that you try in life, you're going to look bad at it when you first start. Like if you look good at when you first start, hey man, that's you either talented, you naturally good at that, or what. But for the most part, it's not like that for everybody, right? A lot of people look shitty for a long period of time until they start looking good, right? For me, I'm gonna just give you guys a quick reference, right? When I first started photography, right, I always like to bring up my photography because I seen so much growth in such a short period of time when it came to that. And that's like one of my businesses that, you know, was like a fast success, right? And you know, when it came down to it, I took, you know, a lot of losses at first and then got a lot of wins, and those wins started compounding, compound after compound after compound, and then they started to stack up. And that's the same thing with anything that you try or do in life. It's just gonna stack up as time goes, right? At first, you know, a lot of people are gonna tell you no, they don't want photos from you. A lot of people are gonna tell you, no, I'm good, man. You know, your photos cool, but nah. And then a lot of people are gonna look at you from the outside in and just, you know, they see what you're doing, they don't want to support it, so, you know, they just watch you post here and there, and, you know, they'll probably like it once in a while, but if they do, oh well. If they don't, oh well. You know, it's a oh well. But as soon as you start winning and they can see that you're clearly winning, because their friends is starting to go to you and their friends are starting to go to you, and now people see, okay, this guy is doing something and I like it. Then that's when they start tuning into you. And now you got a whole bunch of people congratulating you, telling you you good. And then over time, you know, let's say you stop doing that because that's no longer your interest, right? Everybody disappears. Everybody who was congratulating you walks out, gone. And then you're back on square one. Now you gotta, you know, figure out how to keep going, how to, you know, grind when nobody's clapping, when nobody's, when nobody sees you, right? Why? Because what I like to say is, when you first start a business, you don't want your first business to be the primary business, right? Because there's going to be more. There's going to be something that you like even more than that first business. Some people may, need the first business, and for other people, they might like something else, because once you step into entrepreneurship, you start to realize there's more. And then, the people with big dreams and big goals and ambition, they realize that they could be further. They can, have a way bigger dream, right? And they can impact more people, right? And what I had to realize was, for me, when I started photography, I was like, yeah, this is good, this is cool, this is like a stepping stone into the business world. But when I first started, it wasn't to, be a photographer. I wanted to take photos for businesses, right? That was my goal. That was my primary goal. But I didn't know that businesses literally pay videographers and, filmmakers or anybody who knows how to make content, which I know how to make content, to record videos and run ads on them. I didn't know that. So over time, I got exposed to this, right? Because I started a business, right? Even though it wasn't the biggest business, even though it wasn't generating me six figures, it was something. It was proof to show that you can make money without working a job. And, a lot of people need that. A lot of people need to realize that you don't have to work a 9-to-5 to make money, right? You don't have to work a 9-to-5 to make money, because then you're relying on, that 9-to-5, and that 9-to-5 can always say fuck you and fire you, right? But when you're your own boss, it's up to you. It's up to you to bring in the sales. And guess what? There's no limit, right? And when there's no limit, the skies, you can touch the stars, right? Reach for the stars, shit, right? Make it a goal to make as much money as possible. Like, for real. So I want y'all to realize, like, that, when you first start, you might want to, start something that's small, just so you can realize that there's a way to make money. Or you can go big and go home, right? Go big, right? You can go big. See, I wasn't open to big though, right? I was only open to my resources. I was only open to things I heard, right? Small things. But now I, got woken up to bigger, right? And now it's like a restart. It's a restart. So it's like you gotta go when nobody's clapping you. Pause. When nobody's clapping for you. You gotta go when nobody's applauding, when there's nobody giving you your flowers for, the great work that you're doing. And you gotta really understand how to get through that. Because once you make it through the beginning, once you make it through the ugly phase, you start to see the success, right? Like I said in my previous video, it's like the waves, right? You got to keep going and start seeing ripples. You're going to start seeing ripples. You're going to have little lines going through them. And then the waves start to form. Now they're, full formed waves. And it's the same thing with business life. It all coordinates. I promise you, it does. So, you can, just figure it out, by starting something, right? Whether it's a small little eBay business where you're reselling shit. I want you to figure out something that you can make money without working a job. I want you to figure out something small, something big. Maybe you can even do photography like I did, and maybe I'll show you how to do it, right? Because it was easy. It's simple, and you can make a lot of money doing it. Like my highest day was a $500 day. But just imagine if you got those consistently. Like if you got $500 a day for a week straight, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, right? And it's out there, right? Just imagine making $3,500 a week just taking photos for people. That's simple. That's light. So I want you guys to, just open your mind to more. Because I believe when you're listening to society, you get trapped. Like, you don't think that more is possible. You think that the way you live now is the only way. And there's more ways, right? There's so many businesses in this world that, I can't even count. There's so many different businesses that you can start that I can't even count. And they're all out there. You just got to figure out which one's going to be the best for you. And maybe business isn't what you want, okay. But just get you something that can make you happy financially, happy mentally, and happy physically. Because, your health is your wealth, right? If you're not taking care of your physical, or if you're not taking care of your mental, I don't know, bro. Like, that's something that I prioritize the most. Like, I have to be healthy. It's a must, right? There's no excuses to it because my health is my wealth. If I get wealthy and, I get sick, I won't be able to enjoy it, right? I want to be able to live life to the fullest. And living life to the fullest looks like being healthy, right? Being educated and being knowledgeable, right? Being knowledgeable and being a good resource to people, right? And when I say resource, I don't mean like I don't know how to explain it, but I don't mean like being just somebody that everybody can punch on and say, hey, motherfucker, I need this advice. I need money from you. No, I don't want to be that guy. I want to be that person where you can come to me, we can have a real conversation, and I could try to help you get on the right track. That's the type of person that I want. And that's why I make these videos. I make these videos to educate people. I've read a lot of books. I done seen a lot of stuff happen. I done seen people at their lowest. I done seen people at their highest, right? And that's the main thing. That's the main reason I make these videos, is to give you motivation. Not only motivation, but the mindset to go out there and dominate the world. Because at the end of the day, that's what you need. You need the mindset. You need, the structure to go out there and dominate. Or else you're just gonna, learn it all on your own. But I want you guys to listen to the videos and then act on it. So when you act on it, you start to see everything that I put in these videos is real. Because that's what I had to do. I had to read books and figure out, okay, that's what he was talking about in the video. And then I seen that it's real. And now it helped me in situations avoid certain things. It helped me realize, okay, I'm fucking up right here. This is what I gotta do different, right? And it's like a blueprint. It's like something that you can follow, and it's something that you like. You're aware of. Okay, this is supposed to happen. When you know it's supposed to happen, you know you just gotta keep going, right? Instead of quitting. And a lot of people, they'll get to those points, and since they don't know if this is, you know, going to happen in the script, or if this is, you know, a part of the book, they just quit. They give up. They're like, okay, yeah, I don't think that was supposed to happen. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. All right. So, you know, it's just like that, bro. So, yeah, if you guys enjoy the video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, and hit that like button. Turn on that notification bell for more videos. And until next video, I don't know what that is. You know, those things that just be flying. Yeah. But till next video, man, J Quad out. Peace.